three. And we'll say,
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Just give us 2 seconds while we get all set up. So if you see me looking here and then looking again there, we are live on 2 platforms today, which is LinkedIn, mostly LinkedIn, and then TikTok on this side as well. We're good, thank you so much. So yeah, I think we can get started if
yes,
you're ready.
we are ready.
Awesome.
Welcome, guys. Always excited to be here.
It is. It is. So what are we discussing today? So last week we wanted to introduce you guys to us, but this week we want to go more in depth in terms of the business program and what it is that we're going to offer in those classes. We touched on it a little bit last week, but I think today we can delve deeper into it. So what is happening?
Okay, today we just want to engage with you guys to make it possible for you wherever you are, even if you're not going to be able to join us for the training, to say it is possible to start anything that you want to start as a like right now, and we'll gauge on, we'll talk about how are you going to go about that to start making money wherever you are with the skills that you have. And yeah, we don't have to wait until we are perfect. And they say money does not choose whether you're wearing a red lipstick or you don't have one. You still can make money. Whether you are in the rural areas, in Tsitsikamma, in the Eastern Cape, or you are in Sandton, still you can make the same amount of
But
money.
just a quick question: how difficult, how easy would it be to make money if you are in a rural, secluded area?
How easy it is.
How easy would it be, or how difficult would it be to make money in a rural area in comparison to your Stanton?
Okay. Certain people, they're always on their phone, so it means you must always be on your phone to market your business. And if you're in the rural areas, it means you must connect with the people.
Okay.
Connection is very deep. They're still very traditional. So you have to always be on the face of the people that you want them to buy from you. So in Santin, we cannot stand on the road and sell a tomato, but in the rural areas, you will stand on the road and do that. So that's the difference.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And visibility is very important, especially if you are in the rural areas, to make sure that you are visible every day at the same spot. At the same spot, I mean, so people see you there on a daily basis at the same time, knocking off at the same time. You know, that thing that people get used to.
I get you. Yeah, I get you. And I can imagine just how difficult that is because you're like out there in the heat if it's summertime and you're just like worried, like, oh my word, like, will I ever make a sale? Or, how long do I have to keep pushing in order for me to make that first sale? And is it even worth it? And I think that's one of the things that that makes people give up because they are in this area, they have to show up every single day, and they get tired. They get tired of showing up and there are no customers.
Yeah, for sure. It's tiring, but the the rewards of being in business come later on after you have put in the work. It's not an immediate thing. It does not matter what you're selling. You have to be willing to stack it out. So if you are in the food and vegetable industry, it will mean that you're gonna sometimes go back home with the foods that are rotten, a lot of time that you have to get rid of, and that is part of business. And if you're in the service industry, it will mean you have to just keep on showing up on a daily basis without anything for the longest time until you find that somebody that will believe in you and buy your product. But the most important thing is being persistent and showing up and being visible on a regular basis, on a daily basis, like being consistent. And somebody once said, I think it's September boy, okay? He said, be obsessed with your business.
You ain't who's going to be.
You know, it doesn't matter who believes in you or who does not believe in you, but you must be so obsessed with what you're doing. And it's like just like taking care of a baby. They don't give you anything, but you're just so obsessed nurturing nurturing your business when you're starting out. Yeah.
I feel you. I think like what you're mentioning right now, it's one of the things that has helped me stick out in Alakin Creatives. Whereas I tried previously to run businesses, and after a couple of months, if things don't work out, I quit and try and find something new. But it was Tony, what's his name? Ugh, I can't really think of the name right now. Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, who's like, if you're like whatever business you go into, just stick it out. Like stop quitting on yourself too soon. Stop quitting on your businesses way too soon. Like it doesn't matter what industry you're in. Whatever you decide to do, just do it, stick it out, and eventually things are going to work out. And I think that piece of advice was one of the things that has made me successful, so to speak, in Alakin Creators, because previously, like I said, I'd run businesses. There was a time when I was selling muffins door to door. And I was like, this is tiring. This is draining. Like, how did people actually sustain themselves and push themselves to go through this when, there's so many, you could go and get a job. You could wait for an interview and whatnot. But I was like, you know what? Let me push and get the Alakin Creatives going. And yeah, like literally just showing up every day, even when no one is buying. I mean, perhaps I could have had a muffin shop right now if I stuck it out. I could have had a bakery right now. But I can never know because I cannot stick it out.
Yeah.
I wasn't willing to.
Talking about selling muffins, I remember as well. I used to sell muffin and muffin meat. Yes. On the
Mondays.
Mondays. And this was in 2019.
Okay.
And thinking about it right now, I cannot even have thought of doing something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what got into me at that particular time
So
for me to say, I need to run with this particular business. But sometimes you have to run with what comes in your mind at that particular time. But because through that business, you learn a lot. And I think the universe or the divine wanted me to connect with people. Because doing my accounting work, I'm always in the house doing everything online, and I will hardly even meet with any of my clients.
Mm-hmm.
So, being in the business of selling to any individual people, it was diminishing the ego. The ego that I cannot, as an accountant, deal with contractor on the street. I cannot deal with Uber guys on a daily basis and actually sending them food.
Mm-hmm.
And that was literally taking my ego down and taking off every clothes that I'm wearing and becoming vulnerable in front of the people.
Doing door-to-door sales and like in-person sales is definitely humbling in comparison to doing it online. I feel like when you're behind a screen, just emails, just social media and whatnot, you feel a little more comfortable. Whereas if you're doing it in person and you're telling someone, hey, please buy what I have in my hands, it becomes more humbling.
Extremely. And I would encourage everybody to walk the journey, irrespective of what is it that is knocking on your mind at that particular time. Run with it because there's so much lessons that you have to take out of it. And you cannot go into business and not go into the ego side to trip it down.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very important as you grow into your business to ensure that you don't walk with the ego, that you don't have it at all. It humbles you so you can be able to deal with a person on a day-to-day basis and have that kind of a respect to say, I am as important as you are, therefore we can be able to leverage on whatever that we are working on. Yeah.
I get you 100%.
Yeah.
So what is it though that we wanted to delve deep into this week?
Okay, this week it's all about sales and marketing.
Okay.
So the conversation is, I want to ask Tamara to say, what do you think? Do you think social media have a certain personalities that it takes on to say we are sharing this particular personality versus this kind of personality, or is not personality based?
That's a little tough question. So I would say that it's very important to go to look at the platform that you're on. So, for instance, if you're on LinkedIn, there's a certain personality that you have to show up as. Whereas if you're going to be on YouTube or on Facebook or on TikTok, it would be slightly different. And you'd have to adjust to that. Because people on LinkedIn are more serious, they're more focused, they are more business minded. Whereas on TikTok, they want to be entertained. So if you're going to be on TikTok with your boring self, like unfortunately growing to like millions of followers, it's going to be much more difficult than if you were on LinkedIn sharing valuable advice with a boring personality or more toned down personality. So I feel like you might have to change your personality depending on the platform that you're on, or you would have to stick to a platform that you know that caters to that personality. So it's one of the two. Some people can change their personality, some people can't.
So you're saying actually we should be actors.
Yes,
In a way,
100%.
say, okay, now I'm acting as happy the loudest. Now I'm toning down myself. Now I'm becoming a teacher or a certain professional when I'm on LinkedIn.
I don't see anyone dancing around on LinkedIn. Yet you'd find there are consultants and serious business people that do fun content when they're on TikTok.
Oh,
I've seen that.
I have not. I have not.
It's the
Yeah.
like I follow someone on YouTube, and on YouTube is very serious and focused, whereas on TikTok his content is more fun.
Oh, I guess. Then we need to go on and become actors. I guess every business person must learn acting.
Not even acting, like imagine you are hanging out with your friends. There's a different way you interact with your friends than you interact with your clients.
Okay.
So on TikTok, imagine you're interacting with your friends. Okay. Whereas on LinkedIn, you imagine that you're interacting with your clients.
Okay.
So it's the same person. It's still you. It's still being genuine. It's just you imagining your audience.
Okay.
And that's what changes.
It makes sense. And I want to go back to what you were saying about selling muffins door to door. I imagine that was like a traditional kind of way of selling. So would you prefer that or the new way of selling muffins online, on TikTok, for instance, and advertising and showing people to say, this is how I do my muffin, and I can deliver to your house when you order online?
Because of my personality, I'm more of an introvert than outgoing and social and able to communicate with people easily. So I would prefer doing it how I'm doing it now. So if I did stick out that business, like I would have started an online shop. I would have opened up a Instagram page where I share my baking videos and whatnot. I feel like my personality is more introverted, so I definitely prefer doing things online. Like in as much as that was a very good experience to get myself out there and push myself and say, hey guys, it doesn't matter with my honest degree, I can still humble myself and show up at someone's door and say, please buy my muffins.
That was brave of you.
It was hella brave. It was hella brave at the time.
Okay. In the olden days, they used to have the saying of start the business or open up a business and people will just flock into your door. Does that still exist or does it still work? Say just open a business and people will know about you eventually.
I'm not even sure if that ever applied, even in the olden days, because even back in the days, like if you would have to market yourself, you'd have to open up a store in a mall. Rent's expensive.
Yeah.
So in the olden days, what they did is they paid to get attention, whereas now attention is free, basically. You can just get your YouTube account and you'd be able to potentially get attention from your potential clients. What is difficult today is because attention is free and because anyone can do it, there's so many different people doing it. So there's a lot more competition because it's not as easy. You don't have to pay Facebook to be there. You can just open up a Facebook page and be there. And Now it's just a matter of who's better at it. Is it going to be you or is it going to be the next person?
You reminded me, some time ago I put up a banner, not a banner, what's it? Ooh, I don't know what they call it in the mall, like where you showcase
Yeah,
your
banners.
business. It's a banner, right? For 6 months, and I only got one client, and I was paying a whole lot of money, guys, and I only got one client from it. And fortunately enough, that client is still my client today.
Nice.
So what I have to compare between our digital and social media today that it is 3 years, people are moving from one client to another. You have a client today, but you're not secured enough that they will still be your clients tomorrow. Because if you don't keep up with your work, if you don't deliver the kind of work that they want, they move next door.
And like there's so many other different people doing what you do, offering the exact same service, how you could potentially offer it. We'd like to imagine that yes, everyone is different, everyone is unique, but really when it comes down to business, like if someone needs an accountant, they can get an accountant.
Yeah, they can get an accountant tomorrow. So that's the difficulty of it today. We are not as loyal as the old way of doing business.
But we've got choice though.
Yeah, the customer have choices. They move from one place to another, just like moving from one restaurant to the other. So that's the most difficult part of it. And we go back to being obsessed with the business as an entrepreneur. When you're obsessed with the business, you become obsessed with your client, and your client become part of your family, and they'll be loyal to you. Then you can be able to be a very sustainable business. But if you're not obsessed with your business, today you are doing tracking, tomorrow you are doing catering, and the other day you are in furniture, then you're confusing your clients, and sustainability will be very limited for you to be able to experience. But if you're remaining in the same niche market, transport, and venturing in different kind of things in the same industry, then you can be able to leverage on the kind of client that you're attracting in your business, and you can be able to remain sustainable in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years. But yeah, but
I can actually attest to that. Like there was a time when I used to do like a lot of different projects in marketing, and then eventually I was like, you know what, let me try and niche down or niche up to find a specific group of clients that I can service for a long time. And now I've got clients that have been with me for the past 2 years, consistently coming back because I understand the business and I want to understand the business. And it's not just one project, like, okay, let me just get this out the way. I work with them and I try and find ways for them to grow their business, not just as the marketing consultant, not just as someone that's providing one particular service, but as someone that wants to see their business grow as well. Because if their business grows, that means I'm going to remain in business as well.
exactly. So it's being, I think sales or being in business is more being having interest in your client's growth, ensuring that they grow, ensuring that you're so obsessed with their product offering, and you're always thinking about them like you're thinking about your own business. So you cannot be selfish and only think about yourself when you're in business, but you also have to think about what is it that I can do and assist my clients to ensure that they remain sustainable, they grow, and they realize the finances that they envision for themselves so that they can be able to be my clients for the longest time. Because if they're out of business, it means I am too, I'm out of business.
Exactly, and that can be very difficult, I shall admit, because sometimes you have to take money from what they're paying you to invest back in them.
Yes. Yes.
So, like for instance, like with the one client, I had to do like an online course to understand their business even more better because like to deal with 5G technology. It is a subject that I have little knowledge on, if not anything. So I had to learn about it, and I had to take out money from my pocket in order to learn about them. So it can be very difficult to do that, but again, if you do it, you get to stick around with them for a longer time because now you understand what it is that they do, you understand their products and services much better, and you are able to offer them better advice as well.
Yeah, and that was also an investment on your side. site, it means you will attract the same kind of client going forward because now you understand the market. It means you can also market and get 5 more clients from it. So it's never really a loss. And yeah, it's an investment that you always have to put into yourself, like personal investment and business investment. And you cannot be stagnant in business. You always have to learn. You always have to learn. And there's a lot of free things online, yes, but you also have to pay somebody to teach you something that they know so that you can leverage on it and grow yourself as well. And that's why we are here today to tell you that we are having um, entrepreneurship course that will elevate you to the next level and take you on an adventure of business. And you cannot miss this one. And yeah, you have to join us, guys. And this is happening in March. Yeah.
So every Friday and every Saturday, we'll be having virtual classes, but the virtual classes would still mean that you get our full attention. So you'll be able to engage with us on the platform. It's not like it's an online course where we upload a video and you have to figure out how to do things yourself. So we'll be there working with you every step of the way.
Yeah, so do join us, guys. Let us go on an adventure. And yeah, all the lessons that we have learned in the past, we'll be pouring them out to you. And if there's anything that you don't know, we also have associates that we work with. We have a whole lot of network of people that we work with that will ensure that you too have connection with them. They say, if you know me, you know my whole community. So if you know Tamara too, you're connected to Tamara's community. And that what makes us different. That you're not gonna just walk out as you knowing me and Tamara, but you'll be knowing those that come after me and those that mentored me. And it will also be your own connection. And that's what you're paying for.
100%.
Yeah.
And just so you know, next week we want to help someone get on board with the training, even though they cannot pay for it. So if you're like, you know what, see, you know what, Happy, like this sounds like the thing that I need in order to either start my business or grow my business, but I do not have the amount for it, please reach out to us and we will see what we can do for you.
Yes. So do not just sit down and idle there back at home. Reach out to us. We have avenues to assist you to also grow your business, even if you don't have your own money. We can be able to assist you. Like I said, we have a whole lot of network, a whole lot of community that are in business, and they're willing to help somebody like you. So do reach out so we can be able to help.
Awesome. Anything else you want to close up with?
Okay. No, I don't have anything except the fact that you cannot be able to experience us until you are part of our entrepreneur program. Come on and join us and let us take you on an adventure that will be so beautiful that, yeah, an adventure you never forget for a lifetime.
I can imagine. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Again, if you've got any questions or comments, don't be shy to leave them, and then we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And I think that wraps up today.
Yes. Bye bye. Thank you.